Hello everyone, the Water Magister here with a new episode just in time for the new year. I'm going to be going over the element of water, which is going over different topics, different random topics that I want to come up with. In this particular instance, we're going to be going over structuring water. In the past, I have made a video about how to create intentional water, which is different than structured water. The difference is intention water is placing your own thoughts and memories, essentially programming the water. But before you can even set intention into water, in my own personal practice and my own things that I've learned, you have to first structure the water itself. So what does that mean? When we drink the water that comes out of our tap, it's essentially dead water because it's in a closed loop system. There is a documentary that I would highly recommend if you haven't watched it. It's on Gaia. It's called The Secrets of Water, that goes more in depth about scientific studies about it. But essentially it's in a closed loop system. So structured water is from either a natural source of water that runs through a stream and has curves, and it's hitting the different rocks and it's creating the friction against the water itself. Or another way that you can structure water is you can structure water at home. So how do you do that? There are certain devices that you can easily find on the internet. They're sometimes pretty expensive. I wouldn't really recommend doing those per se unless you have the money to do it. Just type in structured water devices and you'll find some things. I'm actually personally working on a structured water machine as well. That'll be coming out sometime probably next year or 2020. So we'll see what comes up with that. But one of the simple ways that I've learned is you can get a tube, a PVC pipe tube. Not that I do it this way, but this is just one of the ways that I've learned. You can get a PVC pipe tube and get marbles and fill the PVC pipe tube with marbles and then seal both sides and drill a hole on both sides of it, so and have a coupler on one end of the PVC pipe so that you have it going through, or water is running through it somehow. Or maybe you create some type of device that has the water like this and you're pouring the water in like a funnel and it comes out the bottom part. What that is doing, it's creating these natural ridges using marbles, as opposed to hitting right angle PVC pipes, and it's causing disruption on the water itself. So that's just one simple way to do it. A couple other ways that I'm going to be going over is the following. So I would recommend a machine called a reverse osmosis machine. There are several reasons why you would want to get a reverse osmosis machine. One of the reasons is fluoride. Do some research on fluoride. Okay, I'm not going to really go into it in this video, but do some research on fluoride and the effects on the brain, and maybe even if you want to type in Hitler and fluoride and you'll see some things on that too. So reverse osmosis machine basically creates dead water. So it strips the water of everything that is in the water itself. It destroys the chemicals, it destroys and releases the fluoride in it. So what happens when you reverse osmosis it? You have this water now that you have to structure, that you have to revitalize. How do you do that? Well, you can use something like this. This is a trace mineral solution that you would drop, and the instructions are in the back. It's very simple. It's 10 drops for every gallon. So reverse osmosis, trace mineral solution. Also, Himalayan pink salt. Okay, do some research on Himalayan pink salt and water, and you'll find a lot of interesting things about it. Salt is an electrolyte, so we require a small amount of salt in our bodies when we drink things. Another cool thing, which I'll be going into a video very specifically about this in upcoming episodes, but I'm just going to briefly mention this. ORMUS, monoatomic gold, white powder gold. This is a substance that's made from Dead Sea salt and an alchemical process to draw out the essential minerals from the Dead Sea salt. And when you drop a little bit of this into water, you restructure the water, and it's called hyperstructuring the water. And when you structure water, you're basically taking these hexagonal sacred geometry shapes and making them more uniform and making them all clumped together rather than all being separated, and it's all chaotic. Another thing that you can do for structuring water is there is a certain type of crystal called an anhydro quartz crystal. It's ENHYDRO quartz crystal. Another one is a Brandberg hydro crystal. Why are they so special? Well, glad you asked. It is a crystal that when it formed, it has water stored in it. So imagine those thousands of years ago when that crystal was forming, it encapsulated water within it. So if you move it back and forth, you can see the droplet of water or the bubble moving back and forth in it. Why is this such a powerful crystal? Because it has the original vibration, the original blueprint of our water before we started contaminating our water. So imagine, water has memory, right? So if water has memory, based on that principle of Dr. Masaru Emoto, that crystal is retaining so much information that is stored like a USB stick. And whenever you drop it in a container of water, it shares that frequency with the rest of the water that is in the container. They say to leave it in a container for about 24 hours so that it will structure the water itself. I don't have the equipment to personally test that, but it is on my agenda to purchase a really good microscope so I can play with these things, because it's really fascinating for me. So one cool thing about the anhydro quartz crystal too is I went to Colombia, let's say 2-3 years ago, maybe a little longer, and I stayed with an indigenous tribe there called the Koji, and I brought my anhydro quartz crystal. It's probably like about that big, and I did a lot of ritual work and a lot of personal intention into the crystal, and then I brought it to the shaman during a meeting with him, and I asked him if he can bless the crystal for me. And the reason why I'm sharing this story is because I invite you and I implore you to, once you do get your anhydro quartz crystal, to give it some energy and some dedication or something to consecrate it. Okay? So what I did is I got this crystal and I showed it to the shaman, and I asked him, would you bless this for me? And he looked at me and he said, I'm only, and this is in Spanish because I'm half Colombian also, he stated, I'll only bless this for you if you become celibate for 7 months. And I looked at him and I was like, oh man, no sex for 7 months. But I said yes, and I did it, and I was celibate for 7 months. And because of that, since everything is based on reality creation and belief, now that crystal has 7 months of energy, or better to say, it has been blessed by the Koji tribe. I'm offering this as a free service, what I'm about to say. What I've also learned about anhydro quartz crystals is, since everything is vibration and energy, if you get one anhydro quartz and another one, and you clank them together to create a vibration, to create a resonance, it transfers the information, or it shares the information amongst each other. So I want to offer a free service that if you are willing to get your own anhydro quartz crystal and ship it to me, I will ship it back after I do that process, as long as you pay for the shipping in return and the shipping to get here. So if any of you have anhydro quartz crystals and you wish to share that blessing from the Koji tribe in Colombia, based on me doing the internal work and the celibacy practices, please send me a private message or contact me on my website, www.thewatermagister.com, and I will be glad to share that with you, because it is one of my missions to share as much information as I can and inspire others to do the same or variations of the work that I am doing, so that we can change the waters within our bodies. And hydro quartz crystal is something that helps with that, and it helps restructuring the water itself. I would say, aside from that, those are the main ways that I personally have learned up until this point how to structure water. You can play classical music also to structure water, I just remembered. You can use images underneath a container of water to structure it. But if you have any further questions, feel free to comment down below, and I would be glad to answer any questions that I can possibly answer depending on my knowledge. Again, I want to state that today is the last day to go in on the Wizard Apprentice program that I started, that is going to launch tomorrow. And if you want to get in, please go to the link down below. It'll say Wizard Apprentice, and this is an app that you can download on your phone, and it gamifies the entire program. So my program is based on the 5 elements: earth, wind, water, fire, and spirit. And there's different exercises, different meditations, body movements, breath work that are associated to each element. And you get in-game, or you get reminders on your phone, and you have an avatar that you level up. And when you don't do the practices each day, your avatar loses health. It's kind of like a futuristic Tamagotchi. I'm sure some of you have had the Tamagotchi pet that you had to feed it, and you had to walk it, and you had to do all these things. So if this is something that interests you, that going into the new year, I know we have new resolutions, new intentions, that we want to hold ourselves accountable. This is an amazing way to hold yourself accountable, and I would love to be able to facilitate and hold that space for you, to assist you in holding yourself accountable as well. So if this is something that interests you, please reach out. I wish everyone an amazing new year, and please be safe, because I know you all are already safe. Thank you so much. I love you, and namaste.